estate agents. This is Jeff Underwood with the Weekly Closer, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How you doing, Joey?
What's up?
He's the man with the plan. Today we have a very special guest with us, and that guest is Brandon Tracy. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing awesome. You know what? We're doing even more awesome because you're here.
That's what I like to hear. You're too much.
Well, that's what they all say. So, tell us a little bit first about how long you've been in the business, because we want to introduce people. A lot of people probably already know who Brandon Tracy is. If you're listening, or if you're watching on video, remember you can always go to theweeklycloser.com. You can see us on video. We'll be waving at you. You'll see the little masks and everything in there. So you can listen audio or you can watch the video. But Brandon, let's get into it because you've got so much to share about your story of building a team and culture and all that. So we want to jump right into it. Share with the listeners how long you've been in the business, who your broker is, and I guess what compelled you really to get into real estate.
Sure. Well, yeah. So my name is Brandon Tracy. I run BTG Real Estate out of Keller Williams Realty East Valley. So we're located on the south side of Tempe. Broker Scott Agnew, great guy, great mentor. I started real estate in 2010. January 2010 was my first official month in real estate. I started on a team, did the team thing for a couple of years, went solo for a year, and just kind of said, hey, I think it's time to do something bigger. Right. It's time to have a bigger impact and positively influence more people. And the natural progression for that was, let's go. Let's start a team. Let's see what we can do here.
Absolutely. So I'm interested, and I bet people listening are too. 2010, so that was after the housing collapse,
timing,
right? So great timing for people to buy up a lot of properties, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. We had a conversation about this in our office this week. We always do the whole reminisce thing back to 2010 when our average sales price was like $76,000.
Oh, that's where we're rolling in the big money there, right?
Yeah, looking forward, trust me.
76. So tell us a little bit then about. So you've started building this team right back then, right? Tell us about the team building process and the culture that you've built for your brand.
Sure. Well, the systems and models and everything are already in place, right? You've got fantastic books like the MREA book, and you've got great people that have always come before you in this business, and they've had a tendency to set the trail, and for the most part, all you have to do is follow it.
Right.
You don't want to, you never want to try and be smarter than the industry. The industry as a whole is always smarter than us as an individual, right? So we always have opportunities to replicate models and systems that work, and for the most part, anybody can do that. I think from just my perspective, and it's just a simple opinion, it's certainly not fact, but when you look at all the different teams and you see teams that succeed and teams that fall apart, and in the end, to me, what made the most sense to me was the more this can be about the people, the more this can be about the agents involved in the team, the more it can be about creating a culture of prosperity and giving people a place where they can grow both personally and professionally. Right. When you can create an environment like that, it's very inspiring for the agents, and it's kind of an agent-first type of team. And there's all kinds of different teams and structures. A lot of them have a central person that's kind of all over everything. For us, it was more about, how do we take training and culture to another level and then create an environment that's conducive to them, finding success.
Okay.
And, a lot of times there's so much reluctancy in this business, so everybody's just really confused on what to focus on. And we just kind of strip that away, and we show through proven systems and models what you focus on expands, and we offer a certain level of accountability to stay focused on the right things.
Okay. So if somebody were to ask you, how would you define the culture of your team, what would be that main thing?
Everyone says this, and I've heard people say this, and then I've seen the culture of the business, and it's not always true, but our culture is that of a lot of acceptance, a lot of positivity, agent first. Everything that we do is not geared around what's best for Brandon. It's what's best for the individual agents. How can we help them create more? Okay. And, we really focus on that. And as a result of that, our agents aren't necessarily competing with each other. They are in the sense that they want to outdo each other. But for every agent that we bring onto our team, it doesn't take away from another agent. It's all about adding. And the more we can collectively do as a group, the more we can provide to each other, the more opportunities, the more leverage we can provide to each other. And when you're working in synergy like that, it has a tendency to be very powerful.
Okay. So they're building off of each other.
They are, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
we've gotten to a point right now where I'm almost not, I mean, our tribe, our team, we call it our tribe, trains itself in a lot of ways. I mean, my office sits right off of our team bullpen, and I get goosebumps every day just listening to our agents interact with each other. Yeah. They're cross-training each other. Every single one of them has this, really great skill set, and some of them vary from agent to agent, and they all just pour into each other. And as a result of being a part of those conversations every day, you almost have no choice but to grow.
Yeah.
Not just as a professional, but as a person as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned tribes.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a Seth Godin fan?
I'm a huge Seth Godin fan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured so, because I love his books too. Lynchpin, Tribes, Purple Cow.
Oh, yeah.
All good stuff.
All great stuff. I read most of those twice now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife is getting on me because I'm trying to go from actual hard copy books to a Kindle now.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, you already have that book. But I just purchased because it's our Amazon account, right? It's connected. Right. And so she's like, why are you buying Purple Cow again?
So tell me this, though. Do you feel smarter when you're holding a paper book? I do. I feel smarter if I have the actual
something about
book in
physical
my hand,
book. Right? Yes,
there's thinking about getting some fake glasses.
Absolutely. So my wife will say, yeah, she's all into the physical book because the feel and the smell of the pages and all that. So yeah. Anyway,
I do both Audible and sometimes I'll listen on Audible while following on the paper book. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Reading to me and to a lot of agents, I think to people in general, this kind of goes over their head. When you read a book once and move on from it, how much did you really retain?
Right.
So great books are meant to be studied. They're meant to be visited often and referred back to. And I love that concept. And that's why I like the paper piece, because I can reference pages quickly. And you can do that in Kindle and that stuff too. But
so do you have your team read certain books?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We have a number of books that, I actually give hard copies of the 7 Levels of Communication to every new agent that joins our team. So, we reference that book a lot. We like to reference certain things that are quoted in that book. And I love it. It's a story of prosperity from an agent that was struggling to, really finding his way and understanding how the business world operates. So it's really good for any level of agent, but especially new agents to connect with what they're about ready to face.
Absolutely. So you mentioned before we started a phrase that I captured here, being extraordinary in the ordinary.
Yeah.
How would you explain that to listeners right now?
Well, that's not my phrase. I ripped that off from Dave Ramsey, but I'm a big believer in this, and we see quotes all the time, like, be extraordinary in the ordinary, and we see if you're on Instagram or whatever, you see 1,000 quotes per minute.
Yeah.
But we often forget to sit and visit with where that came from. Why does that quote exist? Why am I connecting to it? And for me, it's about, in real estate, there's so many distractions. There's so many shiny objects, and there's so many people out there that influence the average real estate agent into believing that they need the next thing to be prosperous. Whether it's a CRM or postcards or whatever. I mean, you fill in the blank. There's a million of them out there.
Absolutely.
But if we're constantly doing that, then we're constantly selling them on the idea that they're not responsible for their own success. And there's some very, very critical elements to being successful in real estate that really aren't hard. They're not complex. They take work. With the glamour of real estate on television and social media, all too often, and with such a low barrier of entry into real estate in general, all too often we forget that 85% of our agents are out of the business in 2 years. So you've got to show up and you've got to do some things, and you've got to do those things really, really well.
Okay.
So to me, what that means is mastering the simple things that are proven to generate results. You don't get kind of good at them and then quit. You don't get kind of good at them and even expect great results, but you've got to move towards mastery. And once you've mastered that, then add on top of it. But all too often, we're not getting the results that we want in the time that we want them. So we move on to the next shiny object because we convince ourselves that, we just need that. That's the missing piece for my business. And we do that repetitively over and over and over again and find ourselves never moving forward.
That's great information. And I know you were talking earlier about why each year in real estate should get easier than the last by focusing on what matters. So I'm assuming the what matters are a lot of these simple things.
Yeah, and we'll play with one of those concepts right now, and this is a big thing for when we hire agents. We really help them focus on the things that don't just generate right now money, but generate future prosperity, future success. And with our business being so sequential and not simultaneous in the way that we're rewarded for our actions, it's very important that you don't ignore things that will impact you 6 months, 12 months, 18 months from now, right now. You don't ignore those things now just because you're chasing a paycheck. The idea is if you combine all of these things into a structured workflow and you pay attention to those things through leverage pieces, and technology is a big one that helps us do this, over the course of 6 months and 12 months and 18 months, the job becomes easier. Because 70% of our business in real estate comes from people we've been in contact with for 6 months or longer.
Okay.
So we have to stay true to that. And that's what that means. The longer you're in business, the easier it should get, because it's the more people that you're in communication with, the longer the time period has been that you've been able to develop, professional trust and confidence from the database. It should get easier for you every year. But if you're not doing the right things, then you're always stuck having to do the same thing to find the same amount of business.
So true. Great information. I think we could probably talk all day about some of these things.
Yeah, easy.
But we're going to go ahead and break into, and hopefully you're ready for this.
Okay.
We want to get in the ring with the Maniacs. Are you ready?
I'm in the ring. Yeah. Am I in the ring? I feel like I'm
you
in
are.
the ring.
If you want to put a mask on, feel free. Maybe we'll get your mask on you here in a little bit. How about that? So tell me real quick, this is going to be more rapid fire. What's the best advice anyone's ever given you?
Wow. As a real estate agent, I'm always super emotionally connected to the outcome and the way that my clients feel about me. And as you grow, you realize you cannot please everyone, no matter how hard you try. And I know that it's been said a million times, but someone said, hey, Brandon, if you're not ticking somebody off, you're not big enough to matter. Wasn't a big deal.
Booyah, that's a big booyah.
I don't know how, I don't subscribe to that wholeheartedly, but it did give me an idea of like, hey, let me not put so much pressure on myself. Yeah.
Absolutely. What is your favorite mobile app, whether that's for personal or business?
Yeah, I'm going to go personal on this one. Headspace is my absolute favorite mobile app. So that's, Headspace is a meditation app. So it's guided meditation. I was just going to ask you, it's guided meditation.
Is Headspace? Because I never heard of it.
Yeah, guided meditation. I know a lot of people struggle with meditation, and I have these conversations about the Miracle Morning all the time. And, Miracle Morning for real estate agents, and meditation's a big piece of that. My mind is going 1,000,000 miles a minute.
Right.
So that app has helped me just slow down.
I'll have to check that out because I just bought the Miracle Morning.
Oh, there you go.
Of course, on Kindle.
Sure.
Because I'm minimizing.
Right.
All right. So share with the listeners one book that you would recommend if you had to choose just one.
Well, we talked about Seth Godin earlier. Tribes is my favorite. That I absolutely love that book. And Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is one of my all-time favorites.
Great one. Another great. If you haven't read Tribes, or if you just want to get a taste of what it's about, you can go to YouTube and just type in Seth Godin TED Talk Tribes.
There you go.
I think it's about a 17-minute video. It's awesome. Amazing.
Short read, too. You can read that in about an hour.
Read. So. Absolutely. All right. And so name one productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis.
Oh, man. I am... We're in our CRM all the time. We use Privity CRM, and that, that I simply don't exist without that in my calendar. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. So without it, I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't be here. Absolutely.
I'm going to ask you a question about CRM then.
Yep.
How long ago or how far into the business were you? How many years in the business before you implemented a CRM?
I've never not had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was lucky enough to come into the business and join a team and, learn about technology leverages right away. So, it wasn't my doing. It was, I was forced to do it early on, and I'm sure glad I was.
Which is probably a great thing.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
I talked to a lot of agents that have only been in the CRM for the last few years.
Yeah.
That maybe they've been in the business for 10 years.
Right.
And they're missing out on a big opportunity.
It's wild.
Yeah. So definitely check out CRMs.
I don't know how you survive without it. I can't even imagine surviving in this industry without one.
Yellow notepad. No.
I said surviving in this industry. I didn't say declining.
I'm sorry. Not the 85%, right? Okay, I got it. So we're ready for the final question, and that's going to be allowing you to draw a question from the hat. So I'm going to have you do that right now.
All right, let's do it.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
I guess it's not. Oh, that's the second person that's ripped the question. No.
What's your favorite movie is what it says.
Oh, what's your favorite movie?
I'd have to say my favorite movie is Into the Wild, the story of Christopher McCandless. Most of the folks that know me or follow me on social media know I'm a mountain man at heart, stuck in the city selling real estate. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So I love the concept of, freedom, like in the old sense, the old West sense of just being one with nature and just being connected at that level has always made a big difference for me. So I love that movie.
No, that's awesome. Joey, you want to share favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
Oh boy, Forrest Gump.
Run, Forrest, run.
That's the first thing that came to mind anyway.
Okay.
You know what I would have said 20 years ago is Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
Great there you go.
Great movie.
Great movie. I probably would say Gladiator. I really, that's
there
something
you
I
go.
can watch over and over. And then, of course, all the Bourne Identity movies. Right?
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Anyway, well, Brandon, thanks so much for being with us.
My
Okay,
pleasure.
so I do want you to share with the listeners, if any agents out there want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
We're absolutely recruiting right now and really shoring up our training processes. So you can reach me at brandon.tracy, Tracy, at btgrealestate.com, or you can give me a call directly at 602-826-0213.
Absolutely. So reach out to Brandon. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was fun.
You are a wealth of knowledge, I'm telling you right now.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I store some somewhere.
There we go. Well, thank you all for tuning in, listening, watching. You can always go to theweeklycloser.com. Check out the podcast there. Also, click on YouTube to go watch the videos. This is Jeff and Joey signing off from Security Title Studios. Have a fantastic day. Take care.
Is that good?
Very good, man.